What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Monday, September 19th. It's day 76 inside the Big Brother house, and we got some stuff to go over. We took yesterday off for the updates because there really wasn't enough for me to really feel like confident in doing a full update video. It would have been really kind of just a snooze, but with yesterday and the day before, it kind of gives us a nice update here because they both really connect very well. So we've got a lot to go over on the feeds and also last night's episode, which let's kind of start off there. If any of you weren't watching with us over on Twitch, we were live doing a watch party for the episode last night on my Twitch channel. If you need links for that, description down below, or there's a pinned comment in the comment section where you can find links to my Twitch, my Twitter, our Discord, where you can join the conversation over there as well and find everything that's going on in the Ori universe. So you can find all that stuff down below. But we were live over there. It was a good time hanging out with all of you guys watching the episode, which, let's be honest, it was pretty bland. There wasn't much really to it. We did get a few little interesting things that I want to note on. First off, I mentioned the last episode, it really felt like they were pushing Alyssa as kind of the mastermind and the spearhead for the potential flip that almost happened with Brittany voting for Taylor to go and them trying to get Turner to vote for Alyssa to stay and for Taylor to leave as well, which would have essentially been a blindside on Monte, Taylor, and Turner. But they really played it off where Brittany wasn't involved. This episode, we got more of Brittany's involvement, but instead of her being the spearhead, she was played more as the reason why it failed, which is true, but she was also a big part of why it happened in the first place. So, little A, little B, they ended up showing more B than A. It was a thing. We did also get the pretty much full conversation that Turner and Brittany had after the eviction and after the HOH competition when Taylor and Monte were upstairs having their convo, their little one-on-one session of Turner kind of confronting Brittany on like, hey, like, why didn't you just tell me? Like, like, I might have even been down for it if I knew you were doing it, but like, you didn't say anything, right? Like, it just feels slimy, his exact words, which Brittany in the DR was like, really? Like, if that was slimy, what about all your moves? And I mean, to be fair, yes, he's voting to evict Alyssa, who was probably one of his best friends in the game, but he also had Pooch earlier, who was probably more of a good friend to him, and then there was Kyle's situation, but again, that was kind of outside factors involved with that as well. He did go against the leftovers first, and that was more of Kyle convincing him to do it. He really didn't want to do it at first, but fair is fair. Right? Fair is fair. I think it was okay for him to feel hurt by her doing what she did, but she also has a point as well where, hey, look, it's a game, and, you know, I'm playing the game. I don't have to tell you anything, and I'm going to keep denying that it was me. Which then Taylor did use for her nomination speech when she nominated Turner and Brittany to be on the block. But again, nominations don't really matter. It was all about the veto, which we did get to see the veto comp last night as well. Monte ended up winning the veto. It was a combination between days and math, so you had to know what days certain events happened in the house and then had to add up all those days, and whatever the total sum was, that was going to be the answer, and then you would hit the button to see if you were correct. Monte wins the veto. He has full control now on who should stay and who should leave and who will be in the final three with him and Taylor. Now, as of right now, with the episode and just how things were going, and even on the feeds, it still feels like Brittany will be leaving on Thursday. But as we break down some of the feeds, there is a chance there's a pitch that's going to be taking place. You know, maybe we'll melt in your mouth, not in your hands. We'll get to what that even means there. But yeah, it seems like he will keep Turner because that's what's best for his game. It guarantees that Taylor probably takes him and Turner probably takes him. But will she now? because we have more on that as well in the feed. So let's get into first Saturday. First off, one of the big things from Saturday was Monte. He felt very in a confessing mood. Maybe it was the fact that Brittany confessed that she was a hypnotherapist, and that really kind of felt like a weight off her shoulders. And maybe he took inspiration from that. Well, he decided to share with the house guests, first with Taylor, and then later eventually with Turner and Brittany, that he had a background in mechanical engineering. But he did stress that, hey, listen, like, I didn't tell you guys about my mechanical engineering background because, well, I thought you guys would think I was a big threat. But everything else was true, right? The whole personal trainer and his like fitness empire that he wants to start, that is all legitimate stuff that he would like to pursue. But he did hide the fact that he was a mechanical engineer. Brittany started her pitch, though, for the mechanical engineer Monte, and she did so with M&Ms. So she has all these graphs set up, and basically her idea was to color code them in competitions they all played in, or some of them played in, and who finished better than who, to give Monte the impression that, listen, Turner will beat you in competitions. Now, this gets more in depth from yesterday on Sunday, but we'll get to that. But she was practicing this whole speech that she was going to give him, and with all these graphs and M&Ms, it looked like a madhouse. So like she was stringing up all the string theories, like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Pepe Sylvia? I don't know. After that, they did get tie-dyeing, which is kind of a tradition in Big Brother for the house guests at Final Four to get tie-dye kits so they can make tie-dye shirts and hats, and they got like hoodies yesterday as well. So they've all been doing that, having fun with it. But that really covers Saturday. Not that much. You can see why I didn't do a video on it. But yesterday brought us some more things. So probably the biggest story that we need to start with is HeadphoneGate. What is HeadphoneGate, you might ask? Well, Brittany, Taylor, and Monte were upstairs in the HOH room, and Brittany and Taylor were just kind of chatting, not really about much of anything. Monte was laying next to Taylor in the bed, and he had his sunglasses on and the headphones on, listening to some music and chilling, right, relaxing. Next thing you know, you hear this big, like, and Taylor's like, is he asleep? So she reaches back, because her back was kind of to him. So she reaches back and grabs the headphones off his head. Now, as she does that, though, the sunglasses he was wearing comes off, and it wakes him up, and he seemed a little annoyed by that. Then there were some comments that she made, being like, "Get your own bed," which, again, just like little jokes and stuff. But in the long run, it was nothing. Right? It wasn't anything that serious from Taylor or Monte to take that seriously. Could Taylor have been a little gentler? Sure. Monte have to take it so harshly? No. But this kind of causes a bit of a spiral with Monte, who then later confirms to Turner that, yeah, there's a thing going on between him and Taylor. They were trying to keep it on the down low, but now he's getting some weird vibes from her, and he's not 100% sure what to do. He even later went on to mention that he's like, I don't want to lead on the situation anymore. So I think it's really like kind of like a breakup already. So Taylor's dream of getting her back blown out for the entire week, not gonna happen. Her words, not mine. So that's probably not gonna happen for her, now that it seems like they're kind of breaking up. But Turner also, was worried. He's like, is this going to change anything with us? He's like, no, it's not going to affect our deal at all. Like, me and you, we're still good. So it seems like if Monte has the choice, he would take Turner. Or at least that's what he's telling Turner. And also, I feel like that's the smarter move for him. I just feel like Monte has a better chance against Turner than he does against Brittany. I feel like Taylor. I feel like Taylor just has such a good story that she wins in almost any scenario if she's in the final two. Speaking of that, we have Brittany and Taylor discussing the M&M pitch, and Brittany's kind of been trying to get Taylor to help her with the pitch, and this is also good for Taylor's game as well, because she would like to take Brittany as far as she can and would like to get rid of Turner this week if possible, but all of the power is in Monte's hands. So we're trying to figure out the best pitch and way to take this to Monte and get him to realize that, hey, keeping Brittany is better for his game. And they're using the M&M pitch, and it kind of went back and forth there. It seems to me now that they've gotten to the idea where it's better if it comes from Taylor than it were to come from Brittany. And then they were discussing about like, well, okay, you can use the M&Ms, and Brittany's like, you're going to have to learn the graphs. You don't need to learn the graphs. Just make a pitch. Say, Monte, listen, Turner's this, Turner's that. You don't need M&Ms to explain. It's a thing. Which the M&Ms actually come back later because Taylor was actually in the HOH room, kind of hanging out. Seemed like she was, just counting jury votes, trying to figure it out. And she got to the point where she says to herself, like, they have to be playing me. They have to have a deal. So she's not even 100% sure now if probably Monte is her best bet to take if they do get to the end, and it might be better for her to take Turner, which I think it would be. I think Monte Taylor is probably the closest vote that could happen. Turner Monte might be a little close. There's potential for it, but I feel like Monte would end up winning it. I feel like people respect Monte's game a little bit more than Turner's, and it just is what it is. Even though they're both fairly even as far as like big game moves and competition wins and how they played the game, I feel like Monte just has that little bit of an edge with the jury and jury management compared to Turner. So I think Taylor kind of realizes like she needs to do something. The M&M pitch is probably going to happen today at some point, with whether it's a combination of Taylor and Brittany or it's just Taylor. But while this is all happening, there was another little kind of a weird situation that happened with the diary room. So Taylor was upstairs doing the whole M&M counting thing by herself. Eventually, though, she got called to the DR, which she passed by Monte on her way, and she's like, oh, I just got called to the DR. And he's like, oh, okay. And that was really just for the HOH questions. If you guys don't know, every week the HOH answers some questions. I think they post them on Instagram or whatever. Might even be Twitter. So they do a little video where they get the questions from the diary room, they take it up to the HOH room with a little camera, and they just film themselves answering the questions from viewers who submit them. And so that was a fairly quick DR session. It wasn't like she was in there for a really long time. A few moments later, Brittany was called to the DR where she got the still camera, because they already had the GoPro for filming some other things later. So Brittany came out with the actual just regular camera, and that made Monte go, wait a minute. I thought Taylor was in the HOH. So that made him really confused, and he thought maybe Taylor had snuck to go sneak with Brittany to discuss what kind of pitch they should give him. And he told Turner, he was like, man, that was kind of weird. They were acting kind of weird. I don't know what's going on. So this kind of just continues to kind of drive that wedge in between Monte and Taylor, even though the two had formed pretty I mean, I don't know if you could get much closer with the connection they had over the past few days, but it seems like that is now ending, or at least that there's some hard feelings between the two of them. So we'll see how this all kind of pans out, but it's definitely gonna be a wild few days here where things are kind of bubbling. You can almost feel the tension there. So maybe some things do eventually kind of get to that boiling point and they do pop. But we'll have to see how things turn out today after the M&M pitch. Other than that, that pretty much covers everything that was going on. We do not have an episode on Wednesday. There's no Wednesday episode. We've talked about this already, where Survivor and The Amazing Race are both premiering on Wednesday. I will have recaps of those shows. As of right now, I think the plan I have for it is to do the Survivor recap on Thursday and then hold off on the Amazing Race recap until Friday, just to kind of spread those videos out a little bit. And then Thursday, we will have a live eviction episode. So we will be here on the channel doing a live watch along for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a jury segment on that episode, but at the very least, we will see Monte make the decision on whether or not Turner or Brittany should stay and make it to the final three. Then on Friday will be the final three kind of memory lane episode where they look back at moments in the season. Big Brother Canada always does like BB awards. We'll see how they kind of do it this year on the show. But yeah, that'll be on Friday. I don't know if I do a watch along for that. I'm still kind of debating it. It's up in the air. But if I do, it'd probably be over on Twitch. And then Sunday is the finale. We will be live right here on the channel, a 2-hour finale where we will see the winner of Big Brother 24 crowned. We're also not quite sure yet when America's vote will start. They have not opened up the polls for America's favorite player just yet. And it feels a little bit later than they normally do, because the next possible chance for them to promote this would be on Thursday's episode. So it feels like that's kind of late notice for the vote to take place. And I don't think they're not going to do it. It would be weird for them not to do the America's favorite player. So I'm a little confused on why they have not opened the polls for that yet. Since everybody's eligible, it's not like they have to wait to see who gets evicted, unless they've changed the rules and maybe the final three are not going to be eligible for America's favorite player this year. I don't know. This is all just kind of speculation and me just kind of thinking out loud here on why they haven't opened the polls for that yet. From what I was told in our chat last night, I actually didn't hear them announce this, but apparently they said it was going to open after last night's episode, but that is still not the case. If you go to the Big Brother website, there's no mention of it on any of their social media. So I'm a little confused on when that's going to take place. I would imagine if Taylor is eligible, she's pretty much a lock to win it. If for some reason she's not eligible, after that, who would probably be the most likely to win it? Maybe Joseph. Joseph was loved there for a while, so I could see him getting a decent amount of votes. Monte's somebody who could probably get some votes. Turner with the casual fans, I'm sure is very popular. If you would have asked if Turner had a real shot before maybe 3 weeks ago, I would have said Turner has a big shot at winning it, as well as up there with Taylor. But he's definitely slid down in the past few weeks. Same with Michael. He would have had a really good shot before a few weeks ago. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is the delay with that. We'll have to see. But before I let you guys go, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Like I said, we will be live on Twitch for Friday's episode. We'll be live here on YouTube on Thursday's episode, so make sure you're following down below. There's all links for my Twitter, my Twitch, our Discord, so you can join the conversation over there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.